Hey there, English expanders. It's me, Agnes, and this is Expand Your English episode 8. Tonight, oh my god, what am I talking? Today, we are going to talk about ways how you sabotage your way to your speaking test or to your language exam. How is that you're not feeling that you're an effective language learner? And I hope that with my help today and with my tips today, you will feel that that you will make huge steps towards your language exam and towards your goals. Before we get started, I will ask you the question of the day as usual, and it's that I'm really interested in your answers while you are watching it live or after the live show. Please write down in the comments which language exam are you planning for yourself. And before for you. When I took the language exam, we only had one in the country. Yes, I know, I'm too old. It's not a secret, I'm 39 years old, and I was 17 when I took my English B2 level exam. It was mathematics. It was 22 years ago. Oh my God. And we only had one language exam at that time, but now, thank God, you can choose from many options. There are many places. So let's see who decides on which language exam. Please let me know about your choices in the comments. My name is Agnes. I told you I'm 39. I hope you're surprised about my age. I've been teaching English for 15 years now. Yes, 15 years now. I used to be a secondary school English teacher where I was responsible for several classes. Mainly my students were teens between the ages of 14 and 20. And now I'm a teacher at Don't Panic English Language School, which is close to Budapest, Hungary. And there I have elementary students, pre-intermediate students, and lots of intermediate and also B2, so upper intermediate students, where I can enjoy my creative teaching so much that that I feel that I love my work now. Right, Timmy is here. Hello, Timmy. Have you taken the language exam yet? Which one? It's February. It's the end of February. You know, I told you something. I hope you you took my words, and I hope you are over the speaking test by now. Esther is also here. Hello, Esther. I'm really happy that this is the second time that you are here live at the show. I hope you will love today's topics. And let's get right into the topics. It's about how you sabotage your way towards the language exam. And please let me know until during my show or after my show which language exam have you decided to take. All right? And then I'm going to find the comments on my PC, on my laptop. And hi Naka, hi, nice to have you here too. Right, now I can see the comments and edit. It's so good to have you here again. Now, right, the first way in which today I'm going to talk about is people who go to private English teachers often feel that this one session a week or 2 sessions a week is perfectly enough for them for preparing for the language exam. But unfortunately, I need to tell you that twice 60 minutes or 90 minutes is not going to enough. Your language teacher, or basically your English teacher, is not a magician. She can't or they can't pour knowledge in your head while they are not with you. So of course a private teacher is useful, or a language school is really useful on your preparation, on your way to preparation for the English test or speaking test, but it's not enough. Okay? And the private teacher or your English teacher can lead you on your way to your speaking test, but they can't be there with you at home, and they can't be there with you when you practice English somewhere else. They can take you by the hand and show you the ways which will help you to become a more effective and more fluent English speaker. And although you think it's enough to meet your English teacher twice a week for 1 or 2 months before the speaking test, you should also take into consideration and plan your preparation at home. Now, you need to dive into English. This is my mantra. You know, I keep telling you this all the time. And please don't dive into boring grammar books or boring textbooks or whatever, but dive into something that you're really interested in. I used to be, and you know what? I'm still really interested in watching sitcoms in English. And whenever I have time at home, I sit down for the 100th time of How I Met Your Mother or The Big Bang Theory, or even, I don't know which one's my favorite ones, Modern Family, the latest favorite. And I sometimes binge watch it, which means I watch 3, 4, 5 episodes at one time. And this makes me feel relaxed, and in that way I enjoy English, and it keeps me in a flow, you know, and it helps me stay on track with English. Right, now please tell me, what websites do you usually visit regularly, or what sitcom series do you watch regularly, or you know what English teaching sites do you enjoy following week by week, or day by day, because that's the secret for your way towards your language test, your speaking test, or your writing test as well. Now, Hoini asked me yesterday in my free English Expander group that she asked me a special question. Hoinaka asked Hoinaka asked what she should do when she's at the speaking test and she gets a topic which she's not really interested in. She told me the example of art. She's not really into arts. Art is not her cup of tea, and she's really afraid that she's going to get this topic from the examiners and she will not know what to say. Now, Hoinaka and other English expanders, you know my secret, and I told you that at today's speaking tests in Hungary and even in England or in the USA, you are allowed to speak about something which is vaguely connected to this topic. Okay, if they ask you about your interest in art, then Hoinaka, I'm the same. I really can't talk about it for ages. But the first thing is that you should be prepared about the topics they can ask you about. So you know that at the language exam, they can ask you about art. And if you know this, then you should have something in your pocket prepared right before the test to talk about. For me, it would be like this. I don't enjoy going to the museums. I have never enjoyed going there. But once I had a beautiful experience with a museum in Amsterdam, and it was the Van Gogh Museum. I told you about this before. And this is in my memory. So sure, I would talk about this unique experience, and I would compare it how I didn't like other museums. I would tell them, I would tell the examiners why I was really bored about this, and I would draw their attention to this one unique experience which I had in the Van Gogh Museum in Amsterdam. And if you're not prepared to talk about art, that's another option, then I would tell you, I would tell the examiners that, excuse me, art is not my cup of tea. But the other day I saw a really interesting documentary about this and that, or once when I was a child I saw a really, really beautiful picture about da-da-da, and I would keep on talking about this one picture. Or I'm not really interested in art, but at my grandparents' house there used to be a wonderful picture about a man doing this and that. And I would talk about this for 1 or 2 minutes, how I felt when I looked at it, or how I feel when I listen to classical music, because that's also a work of art. So let's take a look at the comments, ladies and gentlemen, and I can see who is here, who is not. Hello, Gary, nice to have you here. Tundi is also here, and Timmy says that she has taken her language exam and it was quite difficult, but she thinks she handled it well. I know. But please tell us, which one did you take, and what were the questions? Please tell us about it. Hoinaka says that art was just an example and she's afraid of other unexpected topics. No, Hoini, you won't meet unexpected topics. I don't know if you have looked at, I don't know if you have chosen your special language exam, but at their websites, they all give you the detailed topics, the list of topics, 17, 20, 25 topics. It depends on the language exam. And you can prepare for each and every topic, and you just need to scroll your mind when you get a topic like art. Okay, what have I filed in my mind about art? And you take this out. I filed the Van Gogh Museum in Amsterdam. You file something else, and this is what you need to talk about. Okay. Yes, Heini, you have to be more creative. That's a good one. You need to think about lots of things at the same time. Yes. Hello, everyone who is here. Nice to have you here, ladies, and the usual gang, like Hoinaka, Tundi, and Edith. Esther is here for the second time, but I can't see the names about your chosen language exams. Please write them in the comments. And let's go to our second tip for today, which is lying to yourself. This is what a lot of us do when we talk about English language exams and the preparation. You know what? When I'm at the language school and I know about some people who are preparing for their language test, or when I used to be a secondary school teacher, I used to ask my students, okay, have you read this or that article in English which I recommended to you, or have you listened to the latest podcast in this or that side? And they said, you know what, Mrs. Teacher, I didn't really have time for that. And, but I could see it in their Facebook that they were bored the whole weekend long. They were sitting at home and doing nothing. They wanted to find a friend to go out, but they couldn't. So what? So don't lie to yourself that you don't have the time, or you didn't have the time for practicing English, because I think you could have the time if this is your first and foremost thing to do or prepare for. Preparation for a speaking test, if you have the knowledge of B1 level, could take eight short weeks. And in these 8 short weeks, you can prepare for your language test, target it. But you know, if you think that reading a 5-minute long English article or listening to a 6-minute long English podcast is too much, then you're not really motivated in taking the language exam. You know, you should think about how much time you spend scrolling Facebook news feeds. In that time, you could listen to a podcast or read something, or just write a short message to your buddy, to your pen friend, or to your speaking partner. Commit yourself to your language exam and set clear time limits for that, and then you will know your way. Please don't decide that you want to take the language exam sometimes in the autumn. Okay, that's not a good plan. You should be sure that, for example, you're going to take your language exam in May, in the beginning or at the end, and from that deadline on, you need to count back the weeks and plan your weeks accordingly. János is here also. Hello, János. Nice to have you here. You can you can all ask your questions like, how are you today, from us, and I need to tell you, I'm fine, thank you. I slept 8 hours finally, which means that my child didn't get up at night. Okay, thank you very much for asking. Please ask and answer each other some questions, and you can also ask me questions during the show. And you know what? I asked you a question before the beginning of the show, and I can't see any names of language exams yet. I took the Rigaud Street language exam 17 years ago. I told you it was a long time ago because I'm old, not because I was too young when I took the language exam. But who is going to take the Euro exam? Who is going to take the BMA exam, ECL, TELTS? Who is going to prepare for the IELTS English language test, or the TOEFL, or what else? PONNON, and lots of different Hungarian language exams. Please decide. If you can't decide, you can ask me, and I will recommend you sites where you can compare the different language tests, or maybe I will help you with that later. And the last thing which makes you sabotage your way towards your language test is that you believe that you will not make it, that you will never get to that point where you can take the language exam. And you know what? This is not true. Everybody with a normal mind and normal abilities is able to take a language test. It's not a miracle, or it's not something that you will never achieve in your life. It's not something that you feel that it's you can't touch it. No. Everyone can do it with healthy mind and healthy state of brain, and but you need to work for it. And you know what? I think most of us has been in a situation like this, which I'm going to talk about right now, and it's that at the English lesson, or with an English speaking friend, or with a friend who you were practicing, but mainly with your English teacher, how many times have you chosen to explain your things rather in Hungarian than trying to explain them in English? How many times has your English teacher decided to let it go and talk about a topic in Hungarian, not in English, because you looked so confused about it? Now, believe it or not, during your preparation, the main thing is how you step out of your comfort zone. And I will tell you an example. Most of my elementary students at the language school want to talk in Hungarian when they can't understand something from me, or when they can't express their views in English. And in the first lesson, I explained to them how harmful this is, because it's the easiest way. And in 2 weeks, in just 2 short weeks, they can learn how to express themselves in English with other, more simple ways. First, they want to say everything in a very complicated way, but then somehow, with the weeks and the lessons passing by, they get used to not speaking in Hungarian and not explaining words or translating everything into Hungarian, and in just a few weeks, they become good language learners, or good in how they learn the language. And if elementary students can do it, you can do it too. Don't choose the easiest way, choose the more difficult way, and never ever explain anything in English, never ever explain anything in Hungarian, or never ever translate something when you need to talk to somebody in English, right? Everybody can take the language exam. You know, I told you who's got a healthy state of mind, who's not handicapped or whatever. But maybe you haven't found the correct method, which will help you speak English more fluently, or which helps you become a more self-confident user of the language. This was for today. I gave you 3 ways how you could sabotage your language learning. How many of these are you guilty of? The ways were that you believe your private tutor is the solution for everything, and he or she will guide you on your way, and you will have to do nothing more. The other one was lying to yourself that English wasn't your priority and you're not responsible for your own language learning because your private teacher is. And the third one was that you think that when the first problems occur, that with English, for example, you fail your first exam, or you blacked out on your exam, then you think that English is a kind of it's like physics or whatever. It's really, really difficult to study, and you gave it all up. No, you should go along the way, and you should step out of your comfort zone, and the results will come, believe me. So how many of these ways of sabotage are you guilty of? Confess. You can talk about them here in the show. Talk means, of course, commenting. Now I can see some of my students have joined me in the show. Agnes, hi, nice to have you here. I hope I can see you next week in my elementary lessons. Right, yes, until other questions come in, please know, if you haven't joined my 3-part video series about how to prepare for a language exam, then do it now. EnglishExpander.net. And if you haven't read my blog, then you can always read it at blog.englishexpander.net. And don't forget that you can always contact me live in my on my website. You can find that I have a really, really useful method, the English training plan system, in which we consult for 60 minutes, and after the 60-minute consultation you will get an English training plan, how you should prepare for your speaking test. And this training plan is open for everyone. You can find this on my website. My blog is in Hungarian, so it's for Hungarian native speakers, but you can always translate my website if you feel that you need to contact me and you need my help. So, any other questions? I can't see your language exam names. All right, Timmy is also here. She's at beginner level. Don't worry, Timmy. You are here. You are in good hands. You are in a safe community, because I love my English expanders. They gave each other and also me such huge support that I cannot thank it enough. Okay, Edith says that she's thinking about taking the Euro exam. Good choice, Edith, good choice. Honestly, I'm not sure which one I have to choose. Actually, this is a fresh decision of me. Edith, we're meeting in a short time and I will help you with that choice. Edith is also going to take the English training plan, and I hope I can help her choosing the best language exam for her knowledge. Okay, right. You're welcome, everyone, and see you next week with Expand Your English episode 10. I didn't expect myself to come to that close to 10 episodes. I was really afraid of this live show. I'm always shaking with fear. The adrenaline monster always is always here, and but look at me. I stepped out of my comfort zone and I'm here with you each and every week and speaking to you in English, giving tips in English, and I hope you enjoy my shows and I can see faces coming back for more each week, and thank you very much for that. And I'm here as a good example. If I can do this, which I really fear. I really hate making videos of myself and seeing myself live. Then you can also take your language exam, and I know you're able to do it. See you next week. Have a wonderful weekend, and please surround yourself with English. If you have any questions, post them in the comments. I'm here to answer them during the day and after the show, whenever you need it. And there is a good community here, so maybe you can find a speaking partner for yourself to practice speaking with. Take care. See you next week with another topic. Don't forget to send me your suggestions about the topics I need to talk about with you, and have a wonderful weekend, everyone. Goodbye.